Okay. And we're live. Hey, y'all. Hey, happy Saturday Slay. This is going to be our final Heal Girl Summer series, but it's going to be a good one where we are talking about healing through pregnancy loss. So happy Saturday Slay. I have my girl Sunshine here with me. I'm going to have Sunshine introduce herself. I have my guests, my stars of the show, Sunshine. I have them introduce themselves because you guys are amazing, and I don't want to leave out anything that you do. So go ahead, Sunshine, and introduce
Okay.
yourself.
Well,
Yeah.
first, thank you so much for this opportunity. I appreciate it so much. Just the opportunity to just get one step closer to sharing my purpose and just another step on my journey toward fulfilling my soul mission. So thank you so much for giving me the space and the platform to do that.
Of
Hey
course.
y'all, hey, or hey girls, slay. Hey y'all, ain't that cute? That's cute. Hey y'all, slay.
It is.
Okay, my name is Sunshine Cummings, the woman healer, womb man healer, and I help women heal the heartache, the headache, and the hurt of infertility and pregnancy loss, helping them to flow through it all because I believe that what you fight, you invite, and what you chase, you erase. So I help them to get in alignment with the energy of motherhood so they can finally manifest their rainbow babies. And this is so, I don't know what to look at. Like, I feel like I'm like, am I looking at y'all? But anyway, helping them to manifest their rainbow babies and transform from baby grievers to breastfeeders. I also offer doula services, holistic doula services, in person and virtual, to women, particularly women who are pregnant again after a loss, so that they have that extra compassion and empathy that moms need or would require after having a loss, just someone with the added touch of empathy and compassion for what they've gone through.
Wow. You dropped a whole bunch of gems in there. I love it, Sunshine. I think that's a really cool niche because it's not enough. And you're in the area with being a doula services. But I don't think when looking for a doula, I've ever heard of a doula that specializes particularly specifically with women who have experienced pregnancy loss. So
Right.
that is huge. You are more than needed. And I thank you for offering your services, for being selfless and offering your services. So just to give people, and thank you so much again for you agreeing to come on, but just to give the viewers a bit of background, me and Sunshine go way back. But I feel, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, we were in a program together for marketing, right? But I feel like it was the journey to motherhood that really connected us. That was it for me. It was like, okay, she's had similar experiences. I felt like I could reach out to you and we would just go back and forth, and we built a relationship from that. And I'm so thankful for that relationship because I don't know where I would be if I didn't have those type of relationships, because that's just something that a lot of people, they don't talk about miscarriages, and culturally a lot of us are taught like you just go behind closed doors, you grieve on your own, and nobody is supposed to even know that it happened.
Right.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I know you've been on a journey. You've done a couple of different things since we've known each other, as have I, right? So we're just multifaceted people. But I feel like you before I met you, I know were a doula. I think when I met you, you weren't a doula at that moment. I think you took a break, and I just want you to tell the people how you got your journey to be back with like Heal with Sunshine. And I love that name, like your Instagram name. By the way, I love Heal with Sunshine because it fits you.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, that journey, it's real. Heal with Sunshine. It started out just like that because it was like healing
Mm-hmm.
with me as I heal, and also like you healing with me, right? As a
Yeah.
guide to healing. Because So you know my journey with the
Yeah.
pregnancy loss. I lost two
Mm-hmm.
after dealing with infertility for 18 months. So then
Wow.
here I am finally pregnant
Mm-hmm.
after 18 months of trying, like so ecstatic, so happy, get halfway through my pregnancy, past the halfway mark, and then at 22 weeks go into preterm labor because my water broke premature.
Mm-hmm.
So it was
Mm-hmm.
just like, what the hell,
Yeah.
and then a year later the same thing happened again at 22 weeks, so there was some grief associated with that, but I didn't really know at the time until 2 years ago. Both my mom and my dad passed.
Mm-hmm.
They both passed away about 4 months apart, and
Wow.
like grief hit me hard, but it hit me through anxiety because all of that grief that stuffed down from the pregnancy losses, I didn't know that that's what I was doing, but I recognized it then because it all came out. Like it just, can you hear me? Are my notifications?
I can
Um,
hear you.
okay,
I
okay,
can hear you. Yep.
okay. Um,
But I don't hear
so,
like your notifications. I don't hear dings or nothing like that. But I hear
okay,
you.
okay.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, I'm not used to
Yeah.
being on this and I don't even know how to put on the do not disturb on this. But anyway,
It's okay.
okay, cool. Just making sure you're not hearing this, not interrupting me. Okay,
No.
so yeah, so I stuffed that down and didn't realize it until 2020, and that
Mm-hmm.
was 7 years after my last loss, because it just
Okay.
bubbled, like it, my body, my mind, everything was just like, this is too much,
Mm-hmm.
and that I realized, wow, I had been stuffing that grief down as well, and now it's time to come out because
Yeah.
mind, body, spirit connection, whatever you feel like on a mental level, spiritual level, it's going to show up in your body somewhere, some way, somehow. We're going to talk about that a little bit later too. I'm going to mention about that, but yeah, it just came out in the form of anxiety though, but it was
Mm-hmm.
because of the grief and a lot of the suppressed grief. So I was like, okay, heal with sunshine it is. Like I had been asking my ancestors, asking my spirit guides, what is my soul mission? I know my purpose. My purpose is to heal. I've known that for forever. But then it's
Yeah.
like, but how am I supposed to do that? Who am I supposed to heal? And one
Mm-hmm.
day it just hit me like a ton of bricks. It was the most amazing, beautiful experience ever because I'm like, wow, that's why I went through all of this stuff. You see those memes and you hear people talk about your struggles, your story, like that can become someone else's healing. It's
Yeah.
your becomes your testimony and all of those things. And it was just like, wow, this is why you have gone through all of what you've gone through
Mm-hmm.
since
Mm-hmm.
yay high, like the way high.
Yeah.
So that's how
It's
the journey started.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like turn your pain into purpose, just like what you're saying with the memes. And it's like, and I'm not saying this to be insensitive at all because I don't know who, at what journey anybody that is watching this is, but it's like I can relate a lot to what you're saying. It's like our steps are ordered, and it's just like God knows exactly what he's doing. And like we went through those things, those hardships, those challenges, in order to help other people. And
Absolutely.
that's part of the healing journey too, because if in 2012 when like I had my first loss, nobody could tell me that, like I did not want to hear that then, like no, this was not supposed to happen, but that is really, really powerful, Sunshine. So tell us, because you mentioned a little bit and you said later you'll get to it, like how suppressing the grief can impact us. And I can't wait to talk about that because we've had conversations, like me and Sunshine DM each other all the time. And it's like, what? And it's like, we was experiencing similar things. So tell me like about 3 impacts that grief has on people that they may not know.
Girl. The first one, which I also didn't know, is that grief is just as physical as it is mental and emotional. When we hear the word grief, we think emotion, we think
Mhm.
sadness, we think depression, we think, oh, loss. But it can
Yeah.
be physical as it can be mental and emotional.
Mhm.
And it can be so physical to the point that it's showing up physically And it can show up in a person that thinks they're all good emotionally and mentally, and they think I'm fine, like I'm not grieving, I'm okay, I'm over this, but they might be having headaches or chest pain or palpitations or can't sleep at night or loss of appetite or eating too much. It can show up so many different ways physically, and a person not even realize that they're grieving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too. And it's like the headaches, like I am always wowed away. And if you guys are not following Heal with Sunshine on Instagram, please make sure you are following her. I will put her tag, all her information below at the end as well. But when you do your post, I still have moments where I'm like, wow. Like when you talk about the headaches, like I remember having chronic, like I started getting chronic headaches maybe like 2017, 2018. And I just would always blame it like, oh, it's the job. Like I changed jobs. So it's the job. No, it wasn't the job. Like just chronic headaches, anxiety attacks. Like we've talked about this 2020, June of 2020, went to the hospital. Like I had my first real deal anxiety attack thinking I'm having a heart attack because like feeling physical pain, and at that time not knowing that, I'm thinking anxiety, it's all in your head, not knowing that you could actually feel physical pain as a result of anxiety. So this is deep, and you're right, a lot of people don't know this, and this is the purpose of the Heal Girl Summer series, because we hear it's going to be a Heal Girl Summer, but what does that mean? Like, what are the tools? What are the resources? So I just wanted us to genuinely come on and share our experiences to help somebody else. So that's powerful to me. So we talked about the impact. So what are some of the strategies, like 2 to 4 strategies that people that are experiencing from suppressing grief and experiencing some of the things that you discussed? What would be some strategies to help them through it?
Number 1, let it out. Like if y'all hear nothing else, let it out. And you know, with me, after I had my first loss, I thought I let it out. Like, okay, so when it happened, I was on vacation. So I'm in the hospital, right? And I had my children with me and my mom. And I didn't cry, not one time throughout the whole experience, because I felt like I needed to be strong for them. My daughter's crying, you know, like, and then my was like 1 or something, too young, but he's like looking at her like she's a doll baby or something. And so I felt like I had to be strong for them. So I never let anything out while I was in the hospital. Then when I got home to where I was staying that night, or the next day when my husband came and he was there with us, like I just let it out, like one huge, big, ugly, the ugliest cry, snot running down, like all of that. And then I felt like I was okay.
Yeah.
But I just kept going and going and going. And the thing about grief too is that it's like a roller coaster. You know?
Yeah.
It ebbs and it flows. Like some days you're good, and then one day it might just hit you. Like you might just have a memory or a thought, and you just feel sad, and this comes out. And in those moments, you need to let it out. Just let it out. Cry, scream, whatever you got to do. Just let it out. The other thing is flower essences.
Okay.
Bach flower. So there's a guy, y'all can see that Bach. I don't know if it's backwards to y'all or not, but BACH, right? So this is one as well, but they're flower essences. So a lot of us are familiar with tinctures, which are like herbs. You might get like valerian root tincture, or I don't know, skull cap tincture, whatever. A lot of us are also familiar with essential oils. So lavender essential oil, rose essential oil, frankincense essential oil. We're familiar with those, but a lot of people are not familiar with flower essences. And what flower essences are, there was a doctor, a scientist, something, whatever he was, years ago, Bach, by the name of Bach. And what he did was he studied flowers, the essence and the energy of flowers, the same way we have like profiles on herbs and different plants, right? We know that like dandelion is good for the kidneys or what have you, right? So what he did was study flowers, but he studied them from the perspective of what emotions do they, what emotions are they good for, right? So those heal on, it's like an energetic level, but a lot of people don't realize that you can heal your emotions with something physical, because we
Okay.
don't think of emotions as something physical, right? Like you can't see them, it's like you just feel them. But these
Yeah.
flower is what they do is they help people to heal their like it's like a physical way to heal a non-physical thing, if that makes sense. And
Okay.
so it's kind of like homeopathy. So you take them and um, they go into your system and they help to shift the emotion. So they have some for grief, for depression, for anxiety, for stress, for
I didn't know
sorrow,
that.
yeah,
I
for
didn't know
confusion
that. Like you are
or lack of clarity.
okay.
They're
Wow.
really, really good. And he did his due diligence when studying the essence of those flowers.
So what do? You like put it in a drink, water, your
So
food?
it looks just like, it's like a tincture. Looks like it. So
Okay.
you can like 1 or 2 drops under your tongue, like
Okay.
that. Or you
Okay.
can do 1 to 4 drops in a big thing of water and drink it throughout the day. Just,
Yeah.
whatever you're called to. Some of them, he has one, some people may be familiar with it. If you've ever seen Rescue Remedy, like if you ever been in Whole Foods or Trader Joe's or something, okay, he has a formula called Rescue
Not
Remedy.
really.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and that's good for like people if they're having an anxiety attack, panic attack, something more acute. And you pop a pill under your tongue, or you can take the liquid, like that, and it'll help to calm down those emotions of the acute panic.
So it kind of reminds me. I've never taken it, but I have it in my cabinet. But like the Calm, it's Calm. You ever heard of the brand Calm?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the mag-
you could put. Yeah. So it kind of reminds me of that. Like, okay,
but see,
so
that's
that
calming physical level. This is literally
okay,
calming the. It's hard to explain because you're physically
okay,
taking, but it's
yeah,
changing emotional state, like your emotional state.
okay,
That makes
okay,
sense.
kind of, kind of.
Okay, so for
So,
example, you take,
hmm
let's say you take valerian root, the tincture, the herb. That's gonna
okay,
like slow your heart rate. It's gonna slow your breathing. It's gonna make
hmm
you feel sleepy, and you may
okay,
go to sleep. Right with this,
right.
you may feel any physical effects. You may just like a week later notice, hey, I don't feel so depressed anymore.
See,
Or
I need to try that because that's
yeah,
been my reason for not taking Calm. I'm always afraid I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna sleep through everybody. Like the baby gonna be crying and I'm gonna sleep through, and I'm like, I cannot do that. So I don't want nothing to like knock me out. So
yeah,
that makes sense now. Like, okay, it's like you said, the emotional
yes,
level.
yes,
Okay, it's not gonna because stuff that physically alters me creeps me out. That's just
yeah.
a me thing. Like
Exactly.
it creeps me out.
Yeah. So that's
So
why, because when we talk about a holistic approach, a lot of times
mhm.
people, they talk about holistic in terms of like, this herb is holistic, it's going to help you on the mental physical level, but you don't get a lot of things that really affect the emotional state, you know
Ooh,
maybe crystals, things like that, but not something you can
yeah,
physically ingest, that's going to
right.
affect emotions. Like that's deep.
Yeah.
That's real deep.
That is very deep. So thank you for putting us on to that because I never heard of that. So you teaching me something. You always teaching me something, and that's why we have you on. Okay. So, and I put it in the comments. So we got let it out, and you gave some very specific examples, and I like because that was going to be my follow-up question. I was going to be like, how do you let it out? A lot of people don't know how to let it out, but you gave some very specific examples to help to let people know and remind us that grief is not a one-time thing. And I think there's some misconception there. Like, I feel like you never really stop grieving. The
Right.
same as with healing. You never stop healing. The word is healing or heal, to heal. It's not, you're not healed. It's not like a cut, and you put the band-aid and you treat it and it's done. It's
Mhm.
it's continuous.
Yes, it
So
is.
that's important. And Bach, it's BATCH
B E
flower.
B A C H.
Say it.
BACH.
BACH. Okay, so let me, because I put it down in the notes. So let me correct that. All right. All right. So bot. And another thing that I saw, because I saw you posted maybe a couple of weeks ago, and it was like about it was somebody reviewing your ASMR on YouTube. And I'm like, what's that about? And then later I don't even know. I was on your YouTube channel and I got to hear it, the affirmations. Oh my goodness. Like the affirmations for grieving, those are powerful. So thank you for putting those out there to help people. Like I'm gonna definitely share it. Because they are really, they're powerful. And that video is like what, a minute, like under 2 minutes long, I think. Yeah, it's not long at all, but they're powerful. I'm like, oh, this is helpful.
Yeah, I wanted to make it like that, something that people could really resonate with. Because in the past, I've done affirmations, and sometimes we say things that sound so outlandish and so far away from our current reality, and our brains are like, girl, bye, you ain't no millionaire, but if you say something like I look forward to being a millionaire, that's the truth. That is the truth. And it's something that your subconscious can latch onto to kind of take you one step toward becoming a millionaire, versus I'm a millionaire and you're like, and then you feel more discouraged than you do feel empowered by the affirmation.
Right. And yours were like very relatable, and they were reachable, attainable. Like I felt like, oh, okay, I could do this. Like this is realistic. I can this is something that I can do, or something that I am doing and actually acknowledging that I'm doing it.
Yep.
Because I feel like, yeah, we don't acknowledge when you're grieving, sometimes just getting out of the bed. That's huge. That's a huge step. And we don't acknowledge that. A lot of people don't acknowledge the fact that you woke up today. You know what I'm saying? You got out the bed, you took a shower.
Exactly.
Yeah, you went to the mailbox. Like you went outside, you grounded. Like those are huge factors that people like, I don't know. I guess I feel like you see it from different lens. When you're going through it, sometimes you don't see it, but it's like when you're out of it, you see it things differently. And that's kind of like the place I'm at now, like being out of it and looking back in like, dang, I didn't even have energy to wash the dishes or deep clean the house or do this. And it was like, wow.
Yeah.
I had energy to survive that day.
Right, exactly. And I'm so glad you said that word survive, because the brain in a lot of people sees grief as a threat. It's because it's a loss. And that was another point I wanted to make as well, is that you can grieve something that you don't want or that you no longer desire in your life. And so a lot of times people, when they're going through things like divorce or changing jobs or even moving to a new home, that there's sometimes that comes with some level of grief there, whether you want it or not. Like you want the new job, but there's still your body is going to feel a sense of grief because it's seeing it as a loss. And so the brain does sometimes go into fight or flight mode or survival mode, and you really just have enough energy to survive. Like your brain does not care about making you feel hot and bothered and want to have sex. It doesn't care about making a baby. Like it doesn't care about any of that. It cares about keeping you alive, your heart beating, your lungs going, like that's it. All that other stuff, the brain is like, we're gonna put that on pause right now because we need to keep you alive. And that's it. That's all it cares about in those moments, is survival. And it's funny. And the people around you don't get that sometimes. And it's like they're looking at you like, girl, do something. You're lazy. You're not this. You're not. It's like, bruh, like I'm glad you said
it. I'm glad you said the L word. Or people, they'll be like, oh, I have people now in my circle because they don't understand. It's just, it's an ongoing thing. I don't choose to be anxious. I don't choose to be depressed. This is how I am. And I have to choose to figure out ways to try to combat it daily. But it's not that nobody chooses this. I don't wish it on anybody. But you'll have the people that are like, oh, just exercise. Oh, take some vitamins. Oh, take a deep breath. Oh, you should do yoga. And it's like, you think I haven't tried this? Do you think I want to go to therapy and pay for therapy every month and do all of these things? No, but it's for our greater good. But if the solutions were so easy, we would be doing them. We would be experts at them and be teaching yoga classes. Like, come on. You're right. And I'm glad that you mentioned the lazy word, because I feel like society sometimes sees that as lazy. And then I feel like we are hard on ourselves too. I know me, I'll be like, why am I so lazy? Or why am I not doing this? Or why am I not doing that? And I'd be really, really, really hard on myself. But it's like we said, it's survival mode and surviving to get to the next step, get to the next day. And that's a huge step.
It is. Yep.
That's a huge step. Wow.
That's a fact. That's funny, but because, I heard it all. Just do this and that, and all right, cool. Thank you.
Yep.
At this point, like, okay.
Yeah. And probably the same, not probably the same when people are trying to conceive. You know, they have that insensitivity where people are like, oh, you just need to do, oh, you need to just relax and or just try again.
Right.
Just try again. Like, some people are so traumatized, they might not want to try again, you know, or like, it's just a lot of emotions going on. And I know that we all deal with it differently, and that is totally okay, because that's what makes us human. But people just have to understand to be empathetic.
Right, exactly. Which is why you need a doula who gets it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who gets it. Because I'm telling you, there are doulas out there that won't understand that aspect of it. Like, they got you on preparing your body, preparing your mind, but not helping you work through those emotions. What if when you're giving birth, you have a flashback, or you go into a panic attack, or you have anxiety attack while you're giving birth or during labor, and it stalls your labor, you know, because that's possible. You can go from 8 centimeters dilated back down to 5. The moment your body feels threatened, because you're again, it's all about survival. And if your baby feels like, when I come out of here, all hell's gonna break loose, let me stay in.
Right.
So our bodies are so intelligent, and amazing. It can do that, and they will do that. You know, so you need somebody that's gonna understand and be able to recognize in that moment what is really going on and talk you through that, and not just think it's something that is not, you know, because they're able to see, okay, she may be dealing with the fear of,
right, you know what you'll you have the idea of what's going on. And that's so important. And I keep using the word powerful, but it truly is powerful. And, you know, I feel like even when I was looking for a doula, I was looking for a postpartum doula. And it was so hard because a lot of people, I'm glad that I was able to find my doula, and she was great. But, and I thought of you, but at the time I'm like, I don't think Sunshine is doing doula anymore. So I'm like, let me not even bother Sunshine. But she ended up being great. But a lot of people, they didn't want to be bothered with postpartum. They're like, oh, you don't want a birth doula? They didn't want to be bothered. But it's like, for me, I needed the postpartum. Like,
for you, but I'm not a postpartum doula, because it's a lot of work. It's like having a nanny, for real.
But for me, let me tell you how I'm weird. My doula, she was looking at me like I was crazy, because, you know, we still in the middle of this rude Rona, is what I call it. And I didn't want anybody coming to the house. I just needed somebody to like check in with me on the phone. Like, I just need to be able to check in. You know what I'm saying? I just needed somebody to talk to about the postpartum stuff. And that's
Girl,
what we did. We had I know. I really we had, but at the time I was like, I think this was before, like right before, you could correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was right before the Heal with Sunshine debut. And so, and I know you were going through your healing thing, and I'm like, I'm just gonna let Sunshine, I'm gonna let Sunshine do her thing. And then I know I always got my Sunshine to be like, girl, what's going on?
fact, and you're gonna get the truth.
Yeah. But then I'm glad that you put it from that perspective too, because it can be a lot. Like it can be like a nanny if you come in cooking and whatever. But you know what helped me? Yeah, you know what helped me? Because my parents were away. My mother was out the country. My parents grown child. They went to Europe around the baby's due date. And obviously the baby came early. You know how these babies do. And so I needed like my mom's cooking. And I didn't have that then. And so my doula was like, she sent me recipes of stuff that I needed, right? And Mel is American and nothing. I've got a lot of American friends. There's nothing wrong with my American people, but I come from 2 Guyanese parents. So I needed like some hearty food. And Mel over here talking about, do you want Subway? It's like, Subway? I don't want Subway.
No, 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 sir.
So thankfully, my doula was like, "Oh, here is some." She sent me some like a Pinterest board. She made a Pinterest board for me. So, but yes, I am so happy to hear all that you are doing. Like you definitely are doing your soul's purpose. It's crazy how you came. Do you feel like you try to run away from it a little bit, and then it was like, no, you gotta circle back?
You know I ran away from it because I was not doing anything related to birth work, anything related to pregnancy. Like I ran away from it for a while, and they won't let me. They not letting me. They just
no,
like,
they not.
This is what you're supposed to be doing, and so I'm
But
not running.
I always knew it was one of your purposes because it's something that you were so passionate about, and like your stories, you still would share stuff about it. So it's just in you, Sunshine.
It is. It really is. And I'm not running. They're not letting me. So
good. But and that's one thing for one of the takeaways from this episode. You can't run. Like you can only run for so long from grief. It is gonna come back and come up real ugly no matter how, some way, somehow, and you are going to have to face it. So if you are a runner, which I used to be, it's gonna come and get you. You're gonna have to deal with it.
You are, and that's some way, somehow.
Yeah. And that's part of healing. So, guys, let us know if you have any questions for Sunshine on healing through grieving or suppressing grief. Let us know. And Sunshine, while we wait for their questions, let us know if you have anything coming up and how can we connect with you.
I have a lot, so much. It's in creation mode. I'm not gonna say too much, but look out for some physical products soon. Definitely courses and things of that nature. And in the meantime, I'm building my Facebook group, Manifesting Mamas, all caps, moms after miscarriage, abortion, or stillbirth. So yeah, are manifesting mamas, and we're manifesting being mamas, right? So that's what the group is all about, and it's for people that's ready to put in some work. Like it's not a support group. No shade, nothing against support groups. They're very important. They're necessary, but that's not what this is. You're gonna be in a group full of women who you can relate to, who are going through what you're going through, or who've been through what you've been through, or what you're going through, but it's for women that really want to put in some work. You recognize your power. You recognize your ability to create. You recognize that you have the ability to manifest, and you want some tools and resources and some tips and strategies on how to really do that, how to really get in alignment with the energy of motherhood to be able to manifest.
Wow.
Yeah, leave it at that. So there's that. Of course, Instagram, YouTube. I have YouTube channel, Heal with Sunshine, Instagram, Heal with
Mhm.
Sunshine, and on Facebook too. I'm not as active on Facebook, but there is a page there for
Fine.
anybody who may not have the other platforms.
Okay, that's good to know. Guys, follow her on YouTube for sure. She has a lot of helpful videos on YouTube. Instagram is helpful, like going through her whole feed. There's a lot of tips that she has on there. So make sure. And also, don't forget to how can we cop your book, Sunshine?
Just went into my book bag, like, hold on. And look,
Listen,
it's
Sunshine got a whole book.
a whole book, okay, a whole book.
It's a
Manifest.
workbook too, right?
It's a journal. Yeah, it's a
Okay.
guided journal style. So each it's a weekly. It's like a weekly guided journal. So this is like an example of one where you get a declaration. I like affirmation or declaration because we decreeing and declaring over up
Yeah.
in here, right? So declarations, and then a baby making task. So it's something practical that you can actually do, like something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna turn to a page and give
Okay.
you an idea. Okay. So this is week 13. My womb is healthy, whole, and capable of nurturing life. Okay, and then the baby making task for that week is something you can do every day during the week, or you can pick a
Okay.
day and do the task. Some of them are like one-time tasks, and some of them are things that you can like kind of do over time. But the baby making task that week is massage your womb. Use a carrier oil such as olive, jojoba, or coconut oil, and pair it with a healing essential oil. So some suggestions are lavender, frankincense,
Mm-hmm.
jasmine, lang lang, blah 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 blah. Right. And
Okay.
then there is a journal prompt that goes with the week as well, and space for writing. So basically, it's a holistic approach. It's giving you something to do that's going to affect you physically, your body, something that's going to affect you mentally, and then also help you emotionally as well. So getting those thoughts out your head and just writing whatever comes to mind. And I know you love journaling, right? I know you can relate to the journaling. But
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
it's definitely helpful to get it out, get it just it's another way to get things off your chest, out your head from
Mm-hmm.
here and on paper. And it's also a way to manifest as well. Once you put pen to paper, like it's amazing how the universe will move
Mm-hmm.
and just create for you.
It's true. And that's the part that I like. I'm not even going to say that I like creating journals, but I just like writing, because there's, like you said, pen to paper, there's so much power when you write it out, like physically writing it
Yeah.
out, journaling,
Yeah.
affirming the great things. So that is important. I feel like you are the real deal. Like you have the services, you have the physical products, like you are all set. And soon you'll have the group. I was gonna call it a support group, but it's more than a support group, guys. And I like
The
how
work
you said,
work
yes, the work group. Like y'all gonna work out, okay? It's a virtual workout.
together.
You guys are gonna actually put in the work. And I like how you said that because that is important. Sometimes in order for anything to manifest, in order for anything to come true, there has to be some level of work that we have to put in. We can't just ask for things and expect it to
Right.
just
Fall out
appear.
the sky.
We always got to put in the work. So that is
Oh, and
beautiful.
you can on Amazon. That's where it's
Okay.
housed or above it. Amazon Manifesting Mother.
All right, Manifesting Motherhood on Amazon. Make sure you guys get that for those of you that are looking to manifest motherhood. And one last thing before I let you go, I'm glad that you are acknowledging it's pregnancy loss, it's miscarriage, and those that have had abortions. That is huge because I feel like that's another area that is not spoken about. And that matters too. And I'm sure there is a level of grief that happens after that. Kind of like what you said, like even sometimes you might not want something, you still grieve it. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
super duper important. So thank you so much again, Sunshine, for
You're
agreeing.
welcome. Thank you.
Like, I'm so grateful, and you dropped a lot of gems, and I know that this is going to be beneficial to someone, and or not someone, to some people. I don't see any questions or comments for questions at this time, but if you do come up with questions, I know this is a private topic, you can always inbox Sunshine as well, and she will get back to you, and she'll help you out in any way that she can.
For
Okay?
sure.
Yeah. Alrighty, guys. So thanks, y'all, and y'all enjoy the rest of your Saturday. And thank you guys for tuning in with us for the Heal Girl
Yeah.
Summer Series. All
Thank you.
right.
Thank you. All right. Peace.
Okay. End it. Yes. End broadcast.